There's opportunities that come in our life. And there's other opportunities that come that is a distraction. You need to learn in every season to evaluate if you're doing the right things. And you need to learn to stop doing things that is not your priority in that season. You only have the time when the time is there. You have to figure out for yourself what season you are in and what your priorities should be right now. When you go from single to married, there's things in your life that must change. There's priorities that must change. And if they're not changing, then you're not recognizing the season you are in.
Welcome to the Safari Mission Podcast. I'm Reverend Ligard.
And I am Reverend Cathrine Ligard.
And we want to share with you the Word of God to bring to light areas that we have walked through in our own lives.
Let's get right to the Word.
Well, there's something I want to talk about today, and I'm going to read this from the Passion Translation first. It is Proverbs chapter 10, verse 5. And in the Passion Translation, it says it like this: know the importance of the season you're in, and a wise son you will be. But what a waste when an incompetent son sleeps through his day of opportunity. So let's read that in a more traditional translation. This is a New King James. It says, he who gathers in summer is a wise son. He who sleeps in harvest is a son who causes shame. And it's saying the same thing. Let's talk about this scripture for a little bit. Know the importance of the season you are in. You see, if you are a farmer and you have sown seed into the ground, you know that in order to benefit from the seed you've sown, you have to harvest, isn't it? And guess what? It is work to harvest. It is work to sow, isn't it? It takes effort. It takes a lot of knowing what to do, tilling the soil, watering throughout, making sure it has enough water. But when it comes time to harvest, you can't just say, oh, I'm tired now, I just want to sleep. Guess what's going to happen? If you sleep when it's time to harvest, you're going to miss that harvest. And that particular harvest will never come back to you. Do you know that? You can wake up, the harvest was there, but you didn't pick it, and so it died, and then it became unfruitful. And you can say, oh, I'm sorry, Lord, I missed it. Guess what? You missed it, but you'll never get that harvest back. Now you have to sow a new harvest. You have to do all the work again in order to get another harvest. But it will never be the same harvest. It's the same with seasons in life. In the Passion Translation, it says, know the importance of the season you are in. Why? Because you will never get that season back. When you have young children, it's a season for nurturing and training your children. And if you don't prioritize your children during that time, you will never get that time back. Because they will grow up and you can never redo that later. Read together. There's a time to learn. You're in Bible school right now. It's a season. It's not forever. Graduation will come, and guess what? That season is over. And that's why it's so important at the time that you are in school, you prioritize school. Because before you know it, that season is over. And if you didn't get what you were supposed to get during that time, you won't get it. Which I'm so strict about. You have to show up and help at the East Africa Faith Conference, because that's a season of learning in your life. You won't get that chance another time. Yes, you can still come back. We have alumni who come back to help. And that's good. But that has to be very intentional. right? That's why you have to follow all these programs that we put you through, because it's a season of learning, and if you miss your opportunity to learn, you won't necessarily get it back. So take the opportunity that comes, and don't miss an opportunity. You may not get it back. There's opportunities that come in our life, and there's other opportunities that come that is a distraction. You see, that's another thing. I see a lot of people, they are in a season. It could be a season of raising your children. It could be a season of going to school. It could be a season of going to university. It could be a season of learning a skill at your job. In whatever season it is. But I see they fill their programs so busy that they're not getting what they're supposed to be getting. You see, people with young children, some have to work, that's fine. But here's the thing, if you have young children, if you have a family, if you have a husband, if you have a wife, and you have to work, that's fine. But when you don't work, if you work Monday through Friday, you don't work when? Saturday and Sunday, right? Some work other shifts, some work other days, some work Sundays, Saturdays. But I'm saying, when you're not working, whatever day that is, whatever hours that is. You see, if you're a nurse, you will work during the night, during the evening. You know, we all can have different schedules. So I'm not talking about a specific schedule. I'm talking about when you're not working, you must prioritize your family. If you have a family. You see, when you're single, you can run around and do all kinds of things. Because that's your season. And you can take advantage of that season because that's the season you're in. You can volunteer everywhere. You can be, you can do so many different things because you don't have other responsibilities. And that's your season. Then embrace that season and do as much as you can in that season. But you must recognize when the seasons change. If you're going from being single to being married, your season is changing. And if you're running around as if you're single when you're married, I'm not surprised if your marriage is falling apart. And I'm not surprised if your children end up doing their own thing when they're older, not serving God. Because you didn't recognize the seasons changing. When you're single, you can have a certain lifestyle, and it's okay. Okay, don't be too creative when I say a certain lifestyle, okay? There's certain boundaries you should still have in your life. But what I'm saying, you can be busy. You can leave your place in the morning hours, and you can run around being with friends. You can being in church. You can volunteer here. You can volunteer there. You can go to school. You can be out and about. You can do so many things because there's not that other responsibility. But when you go from single to married, there's things in your life that must change. There's priorities that must change. And if they're not changing, then you're not recognizing the season you are in. If you keep living as a single person after you're married, you're going to fail in your marriage because it requires different priorities. When you have your own family, first of all, you need to prioritize your spouse. Yesterday, my husband came back from Nigeria. He's been there for a week. And I knew that today I would be busy. I know tomorrow I'm coming here for prayer. And I knew my priority yesterday was not going to be running around being busy, although I did run some errands. My priority was to spend time with my husband. And so he comes in the morning hours. I actually had to do the school run. I had to drop the kids off for school because our driver was picking him from the airport. So I had to do the school run. So when I came home, he had just come home. And I had prioritized that. And so we just sat and had breakfast together and talked. And we talked for some hours. I didn't have an agenda that day. And there had a few things I needed to run. And as always, I invite him to run errands with me, and he usually doesn't want to. Any guys who can relate? All the men said, unless there's a coffee date in there or something like that. Sometimes we do that, actually. But for him, he had been flying through the night. So for him, it was time to go take a nap, and that was my time to go run my errands. But we were agreeing on the errands. We both felt the errands were important to do. So I ran my errands and he did his nap. But I made that a priority intentionally. If I was single, I would have filled my day with something else. I always have work to do. Trust me. My to-do list is like this long. So it's not like I didn't have something to do. I prioritized what was important, because today I'm here early. We don't see each other the whole day. So I prioritized intentionally. No, I can't do devotion that day. No, I can't come to a meeting that day. No, I have something on my schedule. On my schedule is to spend time with my husband, because I'm not single anymore. When you have children as well, you also need to prioritize time for them. And so, not every Saturday, but last Saturday, they had something going on, and I made a point I was going to be there with them. Now, I can't have a meeting that day. I have children I need to take care of. In fact, for the last 20 years, listen to me now, in the last 20 years, it has only been in the last 6 weeks, say 6 weeks, since I never had a child home during the day. For the last 20 years, except for the last 6 weeks, I've had a child at home during the day. And guess what? I did not step into full-time ministry until less than 4 years ago. I taught before that, yes, but I was not so involved because I had children I had to take care of. I prioritized. My husband would come and go, and I would stay with the children intentionally. Did they want me to come? You bet. Are you coming? No, I'm not coming. In fact, even to this day, we don't travel together. Not because we don't want to. We actually would like to travel together. But we prioritize that one is always home with the children. So when there's a conference, he will go and I will go, but we will not go together. Would we like to go together? Yes, it's actually a sacrifice on our part not to go together. We would prefer, but we have priorities. That season will come to an end because what? They grow up, right? And that will come to an end, and when that season comes to an end, it's too late to do anything about it. You only have the time when the time is there. And so for 20 years, I have been very mindful of my day. I'm still mindful of my day, but now I have more liberty between 8 and 4. Does that mean I'm always home at 4? No, sometimes I'm not, but I try to be, or my husband tries to be. Again, we tag team. One of us is, usually. We try to be. And occasionally we're not, but we try to schedule our days so we're mindful of this, so that our 7-year-old can come home and there's a parent there. Yes, there's another person there, but that person should also go and take care of her children. So occasionally, it happens like that. But for the most part, it is the parents' responsibility to raise up their children. And if you want an influence in their life, you have to be there when they're growing up. Or you have lost your ability to speak into your children's life. And you're wondering what's happening when they're 18 and they go off to college and they're not listening to you anymore because you were never there when they were growing up. You haven't established the relationship that is needed. And so you need to know what season you are in. Am I in a season of singleness, singlehood? What is the word? Whatever it is. Am I single right now? Then that's the season. You should take advantage of that. That's your time to do things that might be harder to do when you're married. That's your time to be busy, not for the sake of being busy, but for the sake of learning. You see what I'm saying? That's your time to not just sit home and do nothing. That would be an awfully waste of that opportunity in that season. That season is to learn. When you're single, work all you can. Learn all you can. I don't care if you get paid or not. That knowledge that you get from even doing free work, even volunteering, even doing something that's not paid much, will set you up for success later in life. But when you sit at home being idle, you're going nowhere. No, when you're young, when you're single, that is your time to learn all you can, to work all you can, to work hard. Don't prioritize sleep. Yeah, I know sleep is important, but learning is important. You know, I remember being in college, university, call it whatever you want to. It's basically the same thing. How we use the word, at least. Technically, there's a difference. I did go to university. So I remember having sleepless nights because I have assignments that were due. And I remember drinking coffee all night to just try to keep my eyes open. And you know, it's 2 o'clock, it's 3 o'clock, it's 4 o'clock, it's 5 o'clock, and I'm still sitting there working on an assignment because it is due at a certain time. And if I don't turn it in that time, I'll get a bad grade. And I would have sleepless night. Time to stretch. Time to grow. Pushing yourself to the limits and beyond what you thought you could do. That's your season. Take all the opportunities you can take. Because you have time when you're young and when you're single. And you need to recognize that when you're moving from single to married, you got to change your priorities. And the lifestyle you used to have, running around, being busy, running around here, running around there, that needs to change. And you need to prioritize and stop doing some things. You need to learn in every season to evaluate if you're doing the right things. And you need to learn to stop doing things that is not your priority in that season. You see, I always love to teach. Why? Because that's in you. You know, if you're called to something, it's in you. But I had to learn to say no to those opportunities when the children were younger because the season wasn't there for me. And that was hard. Because you want to. But I don't regret it today. So many things that seem so fun. And they are fun, but maybe they're not the right thing for you to be engaging at the moment. Because there's other priorities that are more important so you can build your life, you can build your future, you can build your family. And we got to be very intentional in every season so you're getting the most out of that season in your life. So I need you to think about yourself right now. Don't think about someone else, you know? You can't change someone else. You need to think about your own life right now. And think about, what season am I in? Do an evaluation of yourself. Think about it. What's your life right now? Are you single? Are you married? Do you have children? Are you in school? What do you need to prioritize in this time? Because we're all in different phases and in different seasons in here. Yes, you're all in school. That is a part of all of you right now. But besides that, there's many variables in here. Some are single and young. Some are single and maybe older. Maybe some are married. Some have kids. There's many different seasons represented in this room. And you have to figure out for yourself what season you are in and what your priorities should be right now. And you see, in 2 years, your priorities might have shifted. So don't think about what your priorities needs to be then. Think about what are your priorities right now. Because right now will determine how you'll be in 2 years. Right now, what are your priorities? And maybe some of you realize that, you know what, I haven't quite prioritized what I should prioritize. And that's your time and that's your moment to change your priorities. To make a decision to change how you live your daily life, how you prioritize every day differently. Know the importance of the season you are in, and a wise son you will be. A wise son or daughter you will be. You'll be wise, in other words, if you understand the importance of your current season. I want you all to just close your eyes and just search your own heart right now. And just pray to God that He'll reveal to you so you'll understand fully the season you're in. So you'll see how you need to prioritize and reprioritize and what you have to cut off from your life. Because not everything is fruitful for you right now. And in order to produce much fruit, there needs to be some pruning taking place so you can produce better fruit than you're producing right now.
Thank you for tuning into the Safari Mission podcast. We hope you've been blessed today. To learn more about us, visit safarimission.org. You can also follow along with our ministry and work in East Africa on Facebook, Instagram, X, which is Twitter, and YouTube at Safari Mission. To purchase any books written by Reverend Vidar, visit safarimission.org. If you're interested in joining Rhema Bible Training College Kenya, visit rhemakenya.org or call 07-14-915-799. We'll be back next week for more teaching. Until then, God bless you.